What is going on, everybody? It is Jackson and Steven from Dinger Dudes. And today we are specially joined by Savannah Bananas pitcher Noah Niznik. Noah, how's your day going? How's tour been going? And thank you so much for taking time to join this interview.
Absolutely. Appreciate y'all for having me. The tour has been great. Nothing short of it. We started out in Arizona, 2 weeks there, and then just wrapped up Fort Myers yesterday. And then now we're looking forward to the home opener debuting on the new turf at in Savannah. So it's gonna be fun.
That sounds great. I hope Florida treated you well. We got a lot of rain over here this past weekend, so hopefully it wasn't raining too bad in Florida.
Absolutely not. Not once while we were there.
Man, I wish that was the case here. Well, I did. I did want to get in my first question. So I know we had this conversation before. You are from Missouri, and
Correct.
I did want to ask you. You played your college career at Southeast Missouri State for 5 seasons, and last year you were offered a contract by the Savannah Bananas and happened to win Savannah Bananas Rookie of the Year last year. Congratulations on that. I did
Appreciate
want
it.
to ask, what path led you to the position you are in now? Because I know there's a lot of different avenues when you're heading out of college. Like there's indie ball, there's obviously going pros into the minors. What led you to becoming a Savannah Banana, and how did they get in contact with you?
Yeah. So wrapped up final season at SEMO. Was talking to a couple scouts, couple teams, and kind of thought I'd at least get free agent signed, kind of get a shot at it, but fortunately didn't go that route. And so I was kind of content on starting doing pitching lessons back home, whatnot, kind of getting into coaching that way. And then July rolls around, and Barry Aldridge, our recruiting guy,
Mhm.
he reached out on Instagram, DM me, and I kind of thought it was fake at first. I kind of thought it was just another little random robot and all that. But then another guy, Bryson Wheeler, who's part of the organization, followed me. So I was kind of thinking there was some truth to it. So I thought, okay, I'll check it out. And sure enough, he was legit and asked me, fill out an application, make a video, and probably end up getting invited to a tryout. So went along with that. And the video was more kind of non-baseball, because they told us, we know you guys are good at baseball, but that's not what we want to see. We want to see like your personality, entertainment, and all that. And so, luckily, my girlfriend Lydia kind of choreographs, floor routines for gymnastics. So she kind of took that and ran with it, and choreographed the whole little dance for me, a little speech intro, and for the video. And sure enough, next thing I know, I'm on my way down to Dallas for a private workout, and that all went well, and now we're here.
That's fantastic to hear. And my girlfriend's been trying to teach me how to dance. I can't dance to save my life.
I
So
can I can
that's
agree with that. No, he cannot. But it's okay. I can't either. It's okay.
you
Hey, everybody,
know,
everybody can learn. You can learn a little something. There's a little something for everybody.
we'll see what happens. But Steven over here is more of a dancer than I am, so I've
Barely.
seen.
I can do a two
Barely.
step. I can do the little white man two step. You know what I mean? I can get a
Hey,
little groovy. That's it.
as long as you got something.
That's right. That's right. It's good at weddings. Um, One thing that I wanted to ask you is about banana ball. Um, uh, there is a lot of rules that go into the banana ball that's different from what you see at a regular baseball game. Can you just go into some of those rules and some of the things that we fans can expect to see at banana ball that's different than what you see at a regular baseball game?
Yeah. Oh, kind of put me to the test here. I mean, I'll start with just kind of, the ones that I kind of enjoy the most. So instead of walks, ball four sprint. So I mean, same thing, four balls, but instead of them just getting first, the ball becomes live. So everybody, excluding the pitcher because the pitcher already threw it, has everybody on the field has to touch the ball. So there's kind of a little strategy there. And the runner at the same time can try to advance as many bases as he wants. He can stop at first, try to go for two, go for three, try to score. But usually it's guys usually end up holding up at first just because of how quick our guys behind us are up back there. They kind of got a whole little routine down pat. So, but once everybody touches that ball, it becomes live, and then you can tag the runner out if he's, not at the base yet. And then obviously no bunts. If you bunt, you're ejected. So that's kind of nice for
That's
us
incredible.
pitchers. Although, it kind of took our opportunity to show some athleticism away, but there's other ways for us to still get those with PFPs and all that.
Hmm.
Um, Runner or the batter can steal first on a pass ball, wild pitch, whenever. Got to keep 2 feet or at least 1 foot in the box at all times. If you leave the box, you can get tagged out. It's a live ball, all that kind of stuff. And then, I mean, the most notorious one is definitely the fan caught foul ball
Yeah.
at any point. If they catch it, clean catch, can't kind of bobble it or bounce off somebody and somebody else catches it. It's got to be a clean catch. And there's already been quite a few so far this year. I remember last year we had one that ended the game, which was sweet. So I'd say those are the probably the most notorious, biggest ones that are most enjoyable.
Yeah.
Now,
I
relate.
really love the foul ball rule. I think that was incredible. I saw it on
Yeah.
Instagram last year. That's kind of the reason I wanted to ask that. I was like, great way to get the fans interactive.
Yeah, and with that one last year, actually, when we were in Minute Maid, first Major League Park, Party Animals pitcher Drew Gillespie had his brother who was up in one of the suites or like kind of like the upper bowl area, and it was late in the game, and we were threatening, and then sure enough, foul ball gets hit up there, and who else catches it but his brother? So that was kind of
That's
that was
Wow.
kind of one of the more wilder moments of the year.
that's awesome.
Wow. Now, I wanted to ask a question kind of related to the rules thing, and it's kind of an off question. I know there's a lot of, I guess, wild rules when it comes to banana ball. If you could add a personal rule to banana ball, what would it be?
Personal rule. I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I'm gonna say that give the pitcher kind of like a little pass you can pull out at any point, and if you're pitching in the game at that moment, you can go up there and hit. Kind of similar to our golden batter that you can use late in the game, but kind of just for pitches. Kind of give the people what they want to see it sometimes.
Yeah, now I understand I mean I have my own opinions on the Golden Bat rule. I wouldn't really like to see it in the MLB, but in the case of banana ball, I would that's honestly fantastic. Would you
Yeah,
consider your guy would you consider yourself a guy as a two-way player?
myself.
Yeah.
Back in high school, I definitely could, and then during BP, like nowadays, I'm still out there kind of roaming around the outfield, kind of, trying to showcase a little bit of skill, see if I still got it. But hitting wise, absolutely not. We kind of stopped that in high school once, it started coming in a little harder and moving a little bit more. So I kind of just stuck to pitching.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean when I played baseball, all I did was I was right field. I couldn't hit, I
Oh
couldn't
yeah.
pitch. I was just there. They stuck me in right
Yeah,
field. I couldn't do anything. So
Hey man,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
a really great slow pitch softball player now, man. I can I can
Oh,
I can sit
absolutely.
there. Absolutely. That's where you got to go to after high school, brother. You got to keep it rolling.
Oh yeah, a bunch of my boys back home are, they're getting into it. They've been into it for a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing that I wanted to ask you is, man, we have seen so many viral clips come from the Savannah Bananas. I mean, we've seen crazy things happen on the field. We've seen a guy walk on stilts and hit with stilts. We've seen, y'all had an incredible game with the Clemson Tigers team, I believe, that
Hmm.
happened. I want to say it was at the end of last year.
Yeah.
So just you personally, what's been either the craziest or the best thing that you've seen on the field as a Bananas player?
Loaded question. Whenever I get asked this, I kind of tend to say the same thing. There's not really one specific moment that you can kind of pinpoint, with the Bananas, but just because there's so much chaos going on throughout the game, you can't. It's so hard to focus just on like one thing at a time, and you kind of lose a little bit of memory throughout the year. You kind of go back and you think, oh yeah, that did happen. Like you just completely forget about some of the stuff because something crazier happens the next day. But I'll kind of say, like my favorite thing to watch while I'm out there would probably just be the guys behind me, just kind of the stuff you see them pull out, like Ryan Cox at short, all his glove magician tricks, or DR Meadows out in center field. He's out there backflip catching, front flip catching, just an absolute maniac out there. So I would say probably like some of the trick plays you see, especially in the big league stadiums.
Yeah, that the play that I think you were like the shortstop when he did like a behind the back, threw the ball off
Yeah.
the ground, got it with from the hand, was able to throw the guy out at first. It's one of the I wish I could have that type of magician skills that he has. That was insane.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you go for baseball and then kind of non-baseball is just kind of just the entertainment stuff that we get to do, out throughout the year. We rehearse it and then, just once you get in the game and you finally see it live and hear the crowd just kind of either laugh or go crazy or whatnot, it's just kind of surreal.
Now I know you mentioned you played at Minute Maid Park, many multiple stadiums. I guess do you have a favorite ballpark you played at throughout your Savannah Bananas career so far?
Favorite ballpark I gotta say Fenway last year. Just kind of, the history behind it. You dream about kind of going in the Monster, playing there one day, and just kind of seeing it, taking in all the history. You kind of just feel it as soon as you walk through those gates. You get out on the field, you kind of just picture it yourself in a way. But Fenway was definitely, I would say, my number one from last year because the crowd on top of it, they were loud as can be, just roaring the whole time. So it was definitely a surreal moment.
Oh, trust
Yeah,
me,
it,
I understand. I was gonna say, Steven, real quick, I was gonna say I understand. I went to a Boston Red Sox and Yankees game over the past summer, and I'm a Cardinals fan. I'm neither Red Sox or Yankees. I thought Cardinals and Cubs games were like electric atmospheres, but when you see a Red Sox and Yankees game, I don't I don't know.
yeah.
It's different. It's different.
It
It's
takes a
different.
cake. It sure
It's
does.
different.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask, did any player get a ball over the Green Monster?
BP, yeah, the BP. There was a couple of guys that got him over, but in the game, I don't believe there were any homers hit.
I was just good. That's always been like, don't get me wrong, didn't have the skills for it, but I was like, if that's a dream that I could have, like hitting it over the Green Monster, I feel like
Yeah,
life's peaked for me. So
yeah,
that's pretty cool.
definitely.
I did want to ask again. So, Savannah Bananas, there's a lot of dancing that goes into it. I know you said that your girlfriend Corey grabbed some dances for you. I guess I wanted to ask if you could describe your game in one dance move. Do you have a favorite dance move that you like to do as part of the Savannah Bananas? What would it be?
Yeah, I mean,
Steven, you can't dance. I don't want to see that.
I'll just go with, my go-to kind of what kind of came about last year was just the stanky leg after a strikeout that kind of
Mm.
became once I kind of did that first time around it sort of stuck and just kind of took that and ran with it. So I'd probably say the go-to move, the stanky leg for sure.
That's
Yeah,
good.
again, I can't dance to save my life. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna have to watch some
No,
of,
no.
y'all's TikToks to teach myself. So we'll
Oh
see.
yeah.
We gotta leave the dancing to y'all, man. We're a bunch of dinger dudes over here. That means we can't dance. So one last thing, and I feel like I'm kind of stepping over Jackson here, but I know that you said that you're a big Cardinals fan. Growing up, is there a certain player that you wanted to model your game after, and that you take a lot of inspiration from?
Yeah, I'll start going back when I was real little and still hitting and playing center was definitely Jim Edmonds. I would say he's my favorite Cardinal of all time. Just growing up, having posters in my room, going out back in the yard and throwing the ball up, diving around, trying to, be like him. He was definitely when I was still a fielder, he was somebody that I kind of modeled it after. And then more on the pitching side, you got to go Carp, Wayno, and then lefty wise, I'd say Jaime Garcia. A little bit
Ooh,
of a throwback there, a little bit of a forgotten name.
Throwback,
Yeah,
man. I remember Garcia
you know about him a little bit, but
a little
kind of
bit.
just watching him kind of be, that little crafty lefty, just off speed, just hitting spots and all that was definitely how I kind of turned out to be.
Yeah, if there's one thing that I can tell you about, yeah, Wayno and Garcia is I would hate going up. Like as a Braves fan growing up, anytime we were going up against that Cardinals team, that pitching rotation was deadly, and it was not fun to be a fan going up against that pitching rotation.
Oh yeah, the good old days.
For sure.
Uh, oh man, when he said Jaime Garcia and Chris Carpenter, and especially guys like Kyle Loesch and like I guess
Oh yeah,
Shelby Miller at one point, man, you got me reminiscing on the old Cardinals days, man. Like it's not the same anymore. Outside of maybe like
oh
they have Sonny Gray, who's fantastic, Michael McGreevy, great pitcher,
yeah,
but yeah, it's just man, you just made me reminisce on the old
oh yeah.
Cardinals days.
It's not what
Uh,
it used to be right now.
it hurts. But I guess I wanted to ask another question relating to I guess fans, and I wanted to ask you, did you ever have a favorite fan interaction that was memorable to you?
Yeah, I would say there's the time I got big league by Rick Ankiel waiting for an autograph. So
Mm,
that was I would say that was my least favorite. But
mm,
most memorable was probably with David Eckstein when he was on the Padres after he played with the Birds. We went to a game one day and he was signing down the line. He was kind of like my first real autograph as a kid. So kind of seeing him up close, World Series MVP, it's kind
mm.
of face of the franchise along with Yachty, Pujols, all those guys. Kind of just growing up watching. Then you finally get that close to him, interacting with a little bit. I would say that was probably up there with my top moments.
Oh, I completely understand. I believe a couple years ago, I went to a Cardinals Braves game for my 19th birthday. It was like 3 years ago, 2 years ago. And Wayno happened to be signing some autograph hats, autograph balls, and honestly, probably greatest moment of my life. Greatest moment of my life.
Right.
Honestly.
Oh yeah,
It'd have, it'd
definitely.
have, it'd have to be up there. But I guess relating, I guess I'll ask a final question before we end off this interview here. And I know you mentioned guys, there's been multiple guests on with the Savannah Bananas, such as like John Cena, and you've seen in the past like Backstreet Boys, Brian Luttrell, who Steven over here happened to play uh softball
One
with.
game. It was
There you
great,
go.
but I can go into a story later. But yeah, he showed up for one game during one day, and I had to literally look him up and see who he was. But yeah, that guy can hit the ball, man. That guy is a player.
Really.
Oh, for sure, man. It was insane. The man was knocking him out of the park, and he was quick too. I just
Oh yeah.
yeah, he had to play with the best team out there, and we went up against him, and we got killed pretty badly.
Oh well, there you go. That's gonna happen.
As but I guess while you've been with the Savannah Bananas as of last year, did you have a favorite guest or celebrity that came on for a game or two that you happen to interact with that's most memorable to you?
Yeah. Outside of baseball, definitely John Cena, just because it was so.
Mm,
That was like my first game, like actual game with the Bananas, and to have somebody like him, walk through those doors on the first day was kind of probably the biggest moment. And then for MLB guys was definitely Ryan Howard when we were in Philly.
mhm,
Him being a St. Louis guy, growing up, same thing
mhm.
growing up watching him, just keep cranking him over the wall, against the Birds especially. And then seeing him, around St. Louis playing travel ball because his son was
Yeah.
playing at that time. So, and then finally just getting to meet him and just looking up to him, you're just like,
Mhm.
wow, what is going on right now? Like, where am I? What am I doing? But I would say Ryan Howard was definitely like the biggest one.
Trust me, I remember the Ryan Howard days. Oh, I hated facing him when going to Cardinals games. It
Oh
was either
yeah.
it was either hit or miss. He was
Man,
very there
imagine
were a
being a
few
Braves fan. He was in our division. Guy was
well,
guy was killing us.
He was
there were a
killing
few
everybody back then.
It
yeah,
was.
yeah, there were a few guys growing up I hated going against. And it was guys like Ryan Howard, Prince Fielder. Prince Fielder had to be up there. And I would probably say like prime Andrew McCutcheon. Andrew, like again, same division. So, it
Yeah.
was kind of hard watching those guys.
Yeah.
But
You just really just get starstruck. Like you go back to being a fan for like a split second when they walk in for the first time, you're like, that's Ryan Howard. Like I
Yeah.
don't know, it's just kind of insane when those like guys of, that nature kind of walk through those doors. You just like kind of just sit there and just like, what's going on?
I'm still stuck on the fact that you were able to play the game with John Cena. First, being able to see him, I mean, but being able
For
to
years.
like I grew up a wrestling fan, dude. So like just that would have been nostalgic for me. So that's actually really incredible. And he's just
Yeah,
such an entertaining guy, and just I
yeah.
mean, like who
Oh
he
yeah,
is as a person,
he
awesome.
was just such a nice, just a nice guy, really, just cool, down to earth. You would never have guessed that he's who he is, really.
Yeah, no, great. Yeah, that's Peacemaker right there,
Yeah,
man. And dude, yeah, that's actually very incredible.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no, I know being as a Cardinals fan, have y'all had the opportunity to play in Busch Stadium yet?
April 4th and 5th coming up here soon.
Oof. I wish I got tickets this season. I haven't been to a Savannah Bananas baseball game yet, but I really wish I could go, especially with Busch Stadium, because I
Yeah,
haven't been here in like 10 years. It's been a hot minute since I've been
yeah,
here.
it's definitely circle for sure. I've never played in it growing up, so this will be a first.
That sounds amazing. Well, Steven, I guess, do you have any other questions for Noah before we end off this
I
interview?
do not. We appreciate you for coming on, man. It was incredible hearing about the stories about being Savannah, being a part of this Savannah Banana. Man, I can't speak, bro. It's like a tongue twister.
You
Savannah
got
Banana
it. You got it.
baseball group, man. I appreciate you, man. Y'all are
Of course.
entertaining, and just keep doing y'all and just the amazing things y'all have been able to do, selling out baseball stadiums. We can't wait to see where Savannah Bananas goes into the future.
I appreciate it. Thank you all for having me.
Thank you so much, especially taking time during the tour and just getting back from Florida, especially. So we appreciate you, Noah.
Not a problem at all. Appreciate y'all.